Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm in the studio, so you know what to do. It's live. Get involved in the chat and the comments and let us know all your thoughts on the latest Manchester United news. I do apologise, we are a little bit late today, but I've been chatting to Mr. Stephen Howson. Yes, he's over there in that Qatar, isn't he? In the World Cup, living his best life, getting pictures with the likes of Ronaldo, R9, and Roberto Carlos and Gabriel Batistuta. Pathetic. Yes, well said, baggers. Right, I'm going to get into it. Got a load of stories. We've got a little bit of a Glazer sort of sale, sponsorship update there that we'll get into. We've also got a transfer story about this kid, Youssoufa Moukoko. Am I getting that one right? Tina Telson Satoka in the chat already says, we need a striker in January, and why not go for a Premier League proven striker? Mitrovic has 9 goals in 12 games this season. Mohamed Jabbar as well. Welcome to the academy. Make sure you're hitting that like button, and if you're not doing, subscribe to the channel as well. Dave Rowbottom says, easy Jay. Sean Reynolds says, only 1 hour late today, lad. Haha. Yep, sorry. Abhinav Verma says, Jay did a stee today. That's very, very harsh. Shay Delane says, morning Jay, me old flower. Colin Kulpadich says, here we go to coin a phrase. Mikel Laubenham says, I heard he's better than Pele and Messi combined. Right, we'll get into that in a little bit later. First of all, I want to talk about this team viewer news, because you can see there from the tweet from Laurie Whitwell from The Athletic, who's a pal of ours. He's been on the channel a few times. He says, Manchester United have made a filing about TeamViewer, mutual agreement to buy back sponsorship. Man United confident of getting a strong new sponsor. Now, this has been going on for a little while. I remember having this in my news a few weeks ago, that there was a TeamViewer investment firm called The Arrangement with Manchester United. As you can see there, an appalling judgment. They weren't happy with the deal that TeamViewer had signed with United. And you can see I won't go into the entire sort of bit there that you can read, but it just says that since July 2021, TeamViewer has benefited from unparalleled global exposure as the most talked about shirt front partner in world football, following the most visible launch for a football partner or football club partner in the digital era. Yeah, so there's, it was had all this promotion, it's TeamViewer going on, it's Manchester United, the biggest club or one of the biggest clubs in the world, and you're going to get all this sort of attention, it's kudos and all that, but they're not having it. So it goes on to say, it sort of says, after a period of collaborative private discussions over the past months, Manchester United and TeamViewer AG have reached a mutually beneficial agreement under which Manchester United shall have the option to buy back the rights to the club's shirt front sponsorship. So there's obviously, that's a nice way of saying TeamViewer don't want anything to do with it anymore. United can always get a shirt sponsor. There's no doubt on that. Will we get one that is as profitable, should we say, as the TeamViewer one? We'll have to wait and see. United, one of the most talked about clubs in the world. You imagine there's been lots of sponsors wanting to have their brand on the front of the shirts, but we'll have to wait and see who it's going to be. Ross Murphy in the chat says, morning, like the video, great shout, like the video. What do you make of this, right? What do you make of this whole the shirt sponsor pulling out? Does it bother you? Does it worry you? Or does it make you think like, well, it's a sort of indication of some of the stuff that's going on with United, and we just seem to be a bit all over the place? Because, saying that the investment firm behind TeamViewer is saying, or one of the investment firms behind them saying the arrangement was appalling judgment, what do you make of that? I'm curious to know what everyone thinks. Do you care? I mean, obviously, there's an interest in what name's on the front of your shirt, but are you that bothered? Ed says, Glazers lied to TeamViewer about how much they'd make off the deal, so TeamViewer said, give us our money back. Shady Lane, I'm on this, says, can we go back to the old Sharp sponsor? Yep. Fitness Balance says TeamViewer is skint. Simon Reed says, they're going to refund everyone who's bought a replica shirt. Starlord says, Tesla, SpaceX, OnlyFans. There's some interesting suggestions there. Arman Bansal says, love your hoodie. Thank you. We've got merch available on paddockmerch.com. Go and check this out. Abhinav Verma says, I think this might help lower the asking price from Ponytail Baldy Face. I was getting that name mixed up the other day. I can't remember what the name that they had given him. I was calling him all sorts. I knew it was something like that. Ponytail, bald face, something along those lines. Graham Murray says, morning Jay, one question no one asks is how much of United's value is suppressed because of Glazer ownership? What's the effect of the fans' protest on the value of the club? It's a good question. I wouldn't know the answer to that. I imagine it has some effect when you've got a disgruntled fan base. If you want to call us customers, because United fans to the owners and to potential new owners will be looked at as customers. If you've got all your customers angry and upset with the ownership, then that should have some bearing, I think, on the value of the club. I don't know, but I think that if we get owners in who care about the club and who want to move the club forward and who aren't just going to saddle us with debt, aren't going to let the stadium rot, aren't going to let the team fall behind, aren't going to let the training ground go from being state-of-the-art to becoming vintage, then I don't think the fans will all be having anywhere near the level of anger we've had towards the Glazers. There's a reason we don't like the Glazers, and it's not just the fact that we haven't been performing on the football pitch as well as we want, although that is a factor. It's the fact that we've had this mismanagement and they've been bleeding the club dry, taking out dividends when we haven't even got any profits. I didn't even know that was a thing. Taking out loans and then taking out dividends, it's disgusting. Anyway, I digress. We've covered the shirt sponsorship. We'll get a new shirt sponsor in. One thing we need to do first, though, is hit that like button. Over 500 watching, not even 100 likes. Come on, people. Hit the like button. Give us a like. Alex Belton says, will this affect the price of the club for potential buyers? Maybe only 5.5 billion now. Laughing emoji. Yep. I mean, I don't know. To be honest with you. You could argue, well, you go, oh, look, you've got, you can go out and get new sponsors now if you buy this club. That could be worth hundreds of millions for you. I don't know how it's going to work. Just, we'll have to wait and see. Should we move on and talk about this transfer link? So this is this kid, Youssoufa Moukoko. Yep. From Borussia Dortmund. Now, there's a story in the Times that was doing the rounds that Manchester United are going to be in for him. His goal-scoring record, you can see it there, is ridiculous. I mean, 14 appearances this season, 6 goals, 4 assists. So that's pretty solid. Do you know what I mean? He's only, 18, I think, is he? Only a young lad. You look at his age, you look at what he's done already, and you look at also how United go into the sort of the transfer market moving forward. This is his first senior year, his first, season in top flight football, in professional football, and he's putting up those sort of numbers. You'd imagine this is a player who's only going to get better and better. He's 18 years old. And could this be a scenario where you go, well, we missed out on Ireland because we waited a bit too long. We missed out on other players because we might have left it a bit too late. Should we get in there now? Should we try and get in there now? Now, we have got, there is interest from Chelsea and Liverpool as well, so it's not just an open and shut sort of case that United could go in and get him. The one problem I have with this is Dortmund like to get a couple of seasons out of their youngsters, don't they? They don't like to just sell straight away. If you look at all the Dortmund players that have moved on, they've always had a few seasons, usually at least 2 seasons, and then they'll sell him. So you look at Jude Bellingham, who's been linked with a move away. He's been there a few years, hasn't he? You look at what happened with Erling Haaland. He had, was it 2 or 3 seasons there? I forget. Jadon Sancho, of course, was another one. They don't tend to just go, right, okay, you can go straight away after 1 season. So I don't know if we'll be able to get him in the summer, or certainly or even in January. The thing there is that his contract does expire in 2023. So would they say, right, okay, his contract's going to expire. We can't afford to give him the wages that he wants because apparently he's after $6 million per season. So we just have to sort of, cash in while we can. It seems really sort of crazy, the fact that you've got this youngster and his contract is expiring so soon. But that could be to United's advantage. Because if they can't get him to extend, if they can't get a deal done, and they can't do what they usually do, which is have these youngsters for a few seasons before they sell them on, then maybe Manchester United could get him quick. And if we can get him without having to pay a ridiculous amount for him, it'd be worth a punt. Get involved in the chat and the comments. I'm not going to pretend that I've seen a lot of this kid. I haven't. Have you? Do you know much about him? What do you think of this deal? Is this someone you fancy? Tina Tellefson obviously earlier was saying, why not go for Mitrovic? What about Moukoko? Would you have him instead? Grayson 30 says, already a greedy kid. We should avoid him. Wow. Jonathan Escott. Is that the Johnny Escott? Hey, Jay, I love you. Buy this Moukoko kid. Give him back to Dortmund on loan for a couple of seasons. If he's decent, then we can bring him in early. Happy days. Up the Dubai Reds. Yes, that is Johnny Escott, my good friend there. Glenn F says he's apparently re-signing from the former reputable paper known as the MEN. George Nifton says, which budget, 6 months left, striker would you prefer in January, Jay? Moussa Dembele, Lyon. Marcus Thuram, Gladbach. Depay, Barca. Youssoufa Moukoko, Dortmund. Zaha, Palace. don't know, man. I'm on this Gakpo bus, mate. I know he's not an out-and-out striker, but I think we should be getting him in. But by all means, let us know what you think. I mean, I'm at the point now where I'm almost like, as long as we get someone in who can do a job, that's the main thing. But it's that sort of thinking that's got us in this trouble, innit? Just get someone in who just do a job for a bit. We need to think a little bit more long-term. Shady Lane says, if we're going for an 18-year-old, then why don't we just promote McNeil? Listen, I love Charlie McNeil. That's a very good point. Charlie McNeil, fantastic young player, a goal scorer, an out-and-out proven, well, not proven at the top level, proven at every level he's played at, goal scorer. I think we just have to sort of be a little bit more cautious with how we handle Charlie McNeil. I think he's going to have a very, very bright future indeed. Is now the time to throw him in this season, the back end of the season, or even next season. Next season might be the season where he starts getting more first-team football. But he isn't a regular, and then the season after that, he might be able to stake a claim. I don't think he can be the sort of solution just yet, although he will be eventually, in my opinion, for what it's worth. Ed says, I like him, saw him versus Bayern, and he looked decent, but I've also seen him in the Champions League where he's looked out of his depth at times. Might be a good buy to loan back type deal, but not to be a starter. Yep, I agree with that. I think that's a very good point. You can maybe get him and loan him back. I've not seen a lot of him. I'll have a look. I want to see a bit more of him, but looks like there could be something. Could be something in it. Times are reporting it. Makes a lot of sense if his contract's up in 2023 and he's not happy with the deal that's on the table from Dortmund. Maybe we can go and get him. I'm going to wrap it up there. Make sure you are checking out the event we've got coming up as well in Dublin on the 30th of December. Me, McCullough, Smith, Howson, McClare. Brian McClare is joining us for our first ever live event at Stretford Paddock in Dublin on the 30th of December. Please come and show us your support if you can get down there. We appreciate all the support we've had on the channel ever since we started. It would be great to see you there. There's a link in the description. There's also a link in the chat as well. I've just put a link in the chat, so give that a look. And if you can, come down there and show us your support and get involved. It'll be a real laugh. Don't forget as well, we're doing the 12 days of Paddock over the festive period where every day for 12 days you can win a prize. I never do this right. Well, I'm terrible at that. You can win a prize, and there's a £500 cash prize to the eventual big winner. So join the membership. Extra content on there. I've just done a vlog on there. We're always putting up extra videos on there. So if you can, join the membership. We appreciate your support as well. Don't forget as well, we'll be back later on today with The Brew. I think it's going to be me, Joe Smith, and the Housewives' favourite, Alex Bagley. So we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.